he's concerned about his supply chains, right? He sees a heavy need for semiconductors. I mean, part of sort of putting SpaceX and XAI and Starlink together was all about putting data centers in space, which requires a lot of computing power, which requires chips. Covering him from afar before getting SpaceX, as he's preparing to go through his IPO, one of the things I've sort of heard and seen is just that Elon Musk likes to control his supply chain. And I think he also likes clearly to drive down costs inside his supply chain. And he's done it with Tesla from some of the analysis I've seen. And I think this is that same playbook, right? He wants to own his supply chain. He knows semiconductors is a big issue. He knows he's going to need a lot of them. And so he wants to get in it and build it himself. And I think would be a great thing. I think I could see a lot of other industries in the U.S. that would like a more robust U.S. semiconductor supply chain, including defense. So he may also find other opportunities for these chips he's making. But supply chain control, I think, a concern about getting enough.
Okay, Elon Musk, he is known for thinking big, really big. Is it realistic for him to be able to create a semiconductor plant that can really move the needle, take on stalwarts like TSMC?
Look, there's a lot of people that have bet against him, and I think sort of the roadside is littered with them, right? And so I'd be very careful. I'm typically a doubter. It comes from, I think, my early days in credit. I'm still working through it in therapy. Yeah. But the issue is here, right? Look, we've watched him even in SpaceX, right? We have a company now that's launching 150, 60 rockets a year, reusing bottom portions of those rockets and driving down the cost to access space. And I think if we talked about this 2 decades ago, we'd say never going to happen, right? And he is by far the leader in space launch now. Again, every other day he's launching something.
Yep.
Even New Glenn couldn't get it all right in the last launch, and they're trying to catch up with their billions of dollars. So I would say it's big. He always goes big. But I have a hard time betting against him anymore. He's done so many things big. I think he's got a real good opportunity.
George, what do we know about the timing of this potential IPO? It's been reported for a while, but haven't seen much.
Yeah, neither have we. We keep hearing June-ish, summer-ish. And so the noise, I think, has gotten a little fainter recently. As you know, Paul, to sort of watch markets and see how they're performing. But I think that to me, if the markets are performing, the timing looks right to put a lot more cash again inside this SpaceX venture and go for this data centers in space and more investment in XAI. Again, with this New Glenn failure the other day, the FAA is looking at what happened in the New Glenn shot. His distance on his competitors looks even better. I would think that would help going into an IPO.